Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Steam Prison, and this time we are going to go down the grand ending route. And unfortunately, I didn't, like, when I did it the first time, I didn't make a save right where that choice is to start the grand ending route, because I don't think I needed it. And, like, the first save I had ever made in the game was when you have the choice between the bodyguard route or the prisoner route. You know, when Ulrich is giving you the choice, work for Elcrete or not, you know? So we're basically going to have to start over. We're going to leave our name, and I'm just going to skip until we get that choice. So we basically kind of have to go through... This is before, you know, oh, hey, we get the introduction to the characters. Oh, look, Finn seems nice. Before he turns into a raging psycho. Like, you know. And all that. Oh, Lord Fitzgerald. And then our parents did it. Oh, my God. So I'm just going to do whatever. You can do whatever choices. They don't make a difference. I wonder how it's going to change when you get Finn's route. Like, how is that going to... Is that the truth? I don't really care. Because none of those choices made a difference either, right? You know? But none of the choices... So there are... I don't remember if there's any choices in this at all, but the choices don't matter. Because, you know, it's a specific end. So, go together. So, now we're with Finn, and we're doing our things, and we're going down the road. Oh, my God, okay. So, like, I did this the first time we did this route. We skipped through all the stuff, and we just chose some other options and stuff like that. But I'm not going to stop and read them, because I don't remember what we originally chose, and I don't know whether... And whatever. Like, I don't know what we chose originally. I don't know what the difference was when we went through, and we probably had to skip through all this to do Yune's route. So then Oh, here we go. So this is it. This is the point where we... Here we go. We leave the room with the sword. That was our choice. So, something feels very wrong. I remembered my mother's distress before I went to bed. I want to believe I won't need this, but just in case. If you leave the room without your sword, it goes down the normal route that we've technically already done the first time and the second time when we skipped through and went down Yune's route. So that's why that choice was never taken, and we're never going to take that, because we've already done it technically. I took my sword and left the room. The house was dark and quiet, as I would have expected. But the silence feels wrong. I had a sensation of someone lurking in the darkness. I touched the hilt of my sword, hoping I was wrong. I'd taken a short sword from my room. Normally I carried a long sword, but it would have been unwieldy inside the house. This one will be more comfortable here. Of course, not having to use it was best. I saw a beam of light on the floor. Apparently there was light in one of the rooms. The parlor. Is someone in there, or... I edged closer to the door, prepared for whatever might happen. I looked around. There was nobody else. Did someone forget to turn off the lights? I still didn't know what the noise had been, but nothing looked out of the ordinary. Maybe it was the wind, but... My foot hit something and I looked down. Why is there a knife here? I sensed something behind me and turned around, sword drawn. Just barely I managed to block the blow of his weapon. I turned the attack aside and pressed the attack. Who are you and what are you I was speechless when I saw my attacker. Lord Fitzgerald? He raised his sword before I could question him. Why are you doing this? Don't ask questions. Just lay down your sword. I don't want to get rough. The way he's looking, like, off to the side, like, I don't want to get rough. It's like, because you know I'd kick your fucking ass. Then sheath your sword. Sorry, I can't do that. I have a job to do. A job? Yes, to beat you down. I blocked his attack and retreated a step. I wonder if, like, that statement is kind of interesting. Like, to beat you down. Because what? I'm becoming an uppity woman? Stepping outside my womanly place? Not just staying in the kitchen making you a sandwich? I'm gonna teach you a thing or two, bitch, and then you're gonna get in the kitchen and make my ass a sandwich. That's right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds weird. Like, it's kind of like Well, he's a fucking pansy, okay? Like, he just does whatever his daddy tells him. But, and we know why he's attacking his blah, 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 glissade, blah, 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 they're pawns. But, you know, the take it down a peg, basically, is kind of like, are you and your daddy mad that I could kick both your asses at the same time, probably? I'm just saying. Wow. Little bitches, huh? You can't handle it? Woman tougher than you? Wow. Anyway. I blocked his attack and retreated a step. Lord Fitzgerald didn't hesitate, staying on the offensive. He doesn't seem particularly good, but the room wasn't very large, and I couldn't fight as I would have liked. He was also the son of a noble, and that's when he gets a hilt to the face. Of course, it was clear self-defense, but if I seriously injured him, it would still be problematic. What do I do now? Kick his ass. What's all this noise here? Oh, that was our mother. What's all this noise here? I couldn't remember if it was our mother or father. Mother! Spacey, what are you doing? Oh, it's you, Evans. We're having a sword fight in the fucking dining room. Now! I saw that he was distracted and tackled him. We rolled over the floor. Fitzgerald Evans, you're under arrest for burglary and attempted assault. Attempted murder? We don't know that, though. He was lying on the floor. I was sitting on his back, but I had no rope to restrain him with. Oh well. I pulled the strings of my nightgown out of my nightgown and tied his hands. It'll leave a mark, but he shouldn't be able to free himself. We kicked his ass in a nightgown. I'm imagining like one of those long nightgowns, like prairie style, you know what I'm saying? Like, I checked my knot and lectured him on his rights. Lord Fitzgerald said nothing and only grimaced. I'm just saying you probably don't get the range of movement in your legs in a gown, as he had in pants, and we still kicked his ass. Done. Sir Cordoa! To Stella! You don't have the night shift, if I recall correctly. Oh. Sir Cordoa looked back and forth between me and Lord Fitzgerald. He continued in a muted voice. He's sweating because he knows he's evil. That's the son of Lord Evans. What happened? I don't really know. I tried interrogating him on the way, but he hasn't said anything. He broke into our home tonight and attacked me with the sword. I took it upon myself to arrest him and bring him in. This will need a formal investigation. Stella, put him into a cell. Roger. Sorry. Lord Evans is a very important man in the temple. Treat his son well. Treat him well? I was the one he'd attacked. Though I felt the order was rather unfair, I nodded and led him to the cells. Treat him well, he's a man. It'll ruin his life if they think he attacked you. But he attacked me. Yeah, but whatever. I'm just saying, this parallels all of those instances. But a rape charge will ruin his precious life. Maybe he should have thought of that before he whipped his dick out on an unconscious woman. Just saying. Oh, boo-hoo, it's gonna ruin his wife. Oh. Actions have consequences, dumb fuck. Keep your dick in your pants. Or in this case, sheath your sword, fucker. Parallel still, but like, I mean, it's more like, well, he's rich. He's a rich man, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just a little old woman that he attacked with a sword, but I kicked his ass, so, you know, his pride's all ruined and shit, too. It's kind of bullshit. Sir Cordoa wasn't the only one who afforded Lord Fitzgerald special treatment. The officers in charge of the cell blocks also treated him differently from the others. They thought I'd arrested the wrong man. I could see it in their eyes. Yeah, I mean, I could understand that, because it was a little difficult to make out the person with the sword who was trying to kill me and my family in my house. You know, because it was like a lot of people. No, wait, alright, that's right. He was the only one there. In the middle of the fucking night. With a sword. In my fucking parlor. I can understand why they think that, but I was a low-ranked noble myself. I knew the extent of the influence held by the Evans family. But I didn't arrest the wrong person. I'd seen it all myself, felt his attacks myself. But you're just a little old woman and you're not smart enough to make that choice according to the big tough men. I'm just saying you don't see a lot of lady police officers except for us, do you? You'll spend some time in here now. Do you have any questions, Lord Fitzgerald? No. I have the right to remain silent, don't I? Nothing to tell you. I see. Normally my job ended when I brought them to the holding cells. This time it didn't. I was a victim as well. I stayed in the temple, diligently filing paperwork and reports about the incident. It's morning. I could wait for Finn in the temple, or... Here you are. Oh. Oh, it's Warner. I couldn't remember who it was. It's been a while, Spacey Tistella. Yeah, it has been, Lord Warner. Fortunately, not long enough. It's been a long time since I talked to him. I talked with his son, Lord Fitzgerald, every now and then. Lord Fitzgerald's father was Warner Evans, the Speaker of the Assembly. Of course I saw him every so often, but I hadn't talked to him in several years. Nor did I want to. I ad-libbed that, it's fine. I wonder whether he's here to talk about his son. Not much time had passed since his son's arrest, but he already knew. Of course he did. You'd think that's the first thing they did? That surprised me a little, but I decided to ask him what he needed of me. It's a little difficult to talk about that here. You understand, don't you? Yes. I could understand that he didn't want to talk about his son's crimes in earshot of others. I'd like to talk to you alone. Is that possible? I don't trust you. Alone? Being alone with the family of the attacker is clearly dangerous. He looked determined and insistent. I was finding it difficult to say no. Can I use this situation? Perhaps it was possible to find out Lord Fitzgerald's motive from his father. I gave his body a surreptitious look up and down. He doesn't appear to be armed. I, on the other hand, had a sword. As long as I was careful not to let him get the jump on me, I'd be fine. All right, lead the way. Good, the temple! Because, like, Yune's got a fucking, like, recording software up in there so that he knows what's going on. Because, like, everything that happens in the temple, like, you remember all the other routes, like, ha ha, I killed your father. And Yune's like, so you killed her father? Wow. And her mother? Wow. And he's like, what? How did you? I'm always in the temple. I fucking hear everything that happens in here. I swear to God. He's like, I hear you. Anyway, he led me towards the chapel in the temple. I looked at the clock on the wall as he closed the door. It was morning. I only had an hour until I had to go to work. I hope this doesn't drag out. Lord Warner stood by the altar. I approached him. So, you wanted to talk? I assume this is about your son. Warner looked at me evenly, nodded, and said yes. I know what he's done to you. He snuck into your house and attacked you. It's inexcusable. You have my sincere apology. Lord Fitzgerald was unwilling to tell me why. Why did he do that? Do you know? Yes. No? I have no idea. Not even the faintest. This is sad. It's kind of funny, though. We know he knows, but he's basically like, no clue. Throws his son under the bus. Wow. I'll do anything to get my son out, but if he's gonna go down, I'm gonna pretend like I had no clue what the fuck was happening. Ba Felicia cut my ties. Like, shady fucking prick. Wow. 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 I see. I felt gloomy at that. I mean, he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, totally, we were like, I told him to kill you because somebody else told me to kill you, and it was just like a chain of events, you know? But his son had attacked us, not Lord Warner. I shouldn't blame him for something simply because they're family. Maybe you should. Thankfully, my family is well. Rest easy at that. Thank you, Spacey Tistella. Would you listen to a request of mine? Such as? I'd like you to sweep his mistake under the rug. Well, an unimportant case such as this one is easily erased from the records. Oh, yeah, no, the death of my family, awesome. Great. As long as you agree, the matter can quietly disappear. Please close your eyes to it. Just pretend he didn't rape you because it would ruin his widow wife. She's just a big man on campus. Oh, I'm just saying, it's so the parallel there. Like, yeah, I'll just pretend he didn't try to fucking murder me and my family. Awesome, sure, great. Because that's not going to come back to bite me in the fucking ass. I'm sorry, stab me through the chest. You know, later. Right? Come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. You're just going to get more creative with how you're going to kill me. Like an accident. Air quotes are an accident. Fucking douchehole. Lord Warner made a deep bow in front of me. I was taken aback. Are you quite serious? Of course I am. Trying to save my son's future. Aren't you his fiancé? Can't you overlook such a mistake? Oh yeah, I want to absolutely marry someone who tried to murder my ass. Wow. Alright, like, okay, this is about the only time I'm gonna be like, he makes Finn look good. Like, he makes Finn look good. Take that one murdering asshole over the other, but I'd take Finn over Lord Fitzgerald, thanks. I'll grant you whatever you desire. please. Whatever I desired. He was the Speaker of the Assembly. He could give me anything I wanted. I want your son to pay for his crimes. See what I did there? But I couldn't do it. I refuse. What? I swore to uphold the law. As a police officer, I can't overlook this crime. And you, trying to bribe me from a position of power? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Oh, right. I forgot that this is the sort of girl you are. Stubborn and uninterested in money. I really, really despise that. Spacey Tistella, a useless waste of space like you could never be a part of the noble Evans family. See, he thinks I'm trash. I originally arranged for a girl of the lower nobility to be assigned to us, but clearly that was a grave miscalculation. 'Cause he wanted a doormat. I ain't nobody's doormat, bitch. Should have had a Mary Finn. Hi, could you stop shrieking? Shush. It's not about you. Your kind can't be exterminated no matter how hard one tries. Some of you always survive like cockroaches. I'm going to have to kill you. Lord Warner drew a contraption from his pocket and aimed it at me. That's a gun. Is this the first real one you've seen? I learned during training that it's a widespread weapon in the depths. Slowly I moved my hand towards the hilt of my sword. I didn't look away from Lord Warner. I'm 2 steps away from him. I could close that and cut him down in a few seconds. But his weapon was faster. It could hit me almost immediately. Those are not allowed here. How did you get it? Huh. There are channels for such things with which a low-ranked girl like you doesn't need to know about. I can easily bury a girl like you. You're powerless. Perhaps I am. I'm merely a rank 1 police officer. You stand at the heart of our country. That's why I think it's so funny that you're having trouble with me. She sassed him so good, it's like a slap to the face. She's like, yeah, no, you're right, but like, you're still a little bitch. This is great. You! Now! I leapt at him and drew my sword. Lord Warner barely managed to evade the cut. Are you sure about that? I have the entire nobility behind me. Missed. Not again! Country will miss a rank 1 police officer. Gears a government will grind on despite the loss of a tiny part. Die for your country! It's not you who decides which parts are tiny, Warner. I'm assuming it's Yune, because he's always fucking here. Yeah. St. Yune, why are you? The morning service is coming up, so I happened by. Or something like that. See, I swear to God, he's got like a listening device in here so he hears everything. He's like, I hear everything that happens in the temple. When you wish in the temple, I hear it. Because, you know, it just... Except for I wish that had come out in his route. Like, oh yeah, no, I totally hear everything goes on in the temple. I have like recording software. I got microphones fucking everywhere. Like, he's just always here when shit's going down in the temple. Like, it's convenient. And now it's my turn to ask, what are you doing in my sanctuary? Aiming that weapon at a young girl? Well, explain to me what's going on here, Warner Evans. Lord Warner grimaced at the anger in his voice. It's her fault. She attacked me. This is self-defense. Self-defense? All right. By the way, did you hear? Your son was arrested. I was so surprised when I got the report. Burglary, attempted assault? Maybe he's belatedly living through a rebellious phase. No, Fitzgerald isn't rebellious. These are false charges. There's evidence and eyewitness testimonies. But hey, maybe. Someone told him to do it. Like you. What? According to Fitzgerald Evans, you ordered him to do it. He doesn't know why, though. Did you really order him to do that? That would be a big deal. Tell me, did you put a sword into your beloved son's hands to try to make him a murderer? Silence, huh? I'll take that as a yes. I don't get it. Why would you make your son do that? Because then he can't go up the river. Is it up there? Who's sending you up the river? Is that what it is? I don't know. Anyway. Well, it's an old-ass phrase. But anyway. My son did it. I had nothing to do with it if he got caught. Plausible deniability. Anyway, if it turns out to be the truth, you will be punished accordingly. Attacking blameless citizens is inexcusable. Your rank will be impossible to maintain. But The Evans family has served the people for generations. Yep, but that's your duty. You serve the country and you receive wealth from the people. The work of the people feeds us in the temple, and you'd level a blade at them. It seems I misjudged you, Warner Evans. Is there no room for mercy? That's a tall order. You're already wealthy. And then again, maybe that will be confiscated. I don't know how things will turn out. The Assembly will deal with you, not I. I will watch for suspicious developments, like the Assembly pardoning him and being like, so they all shady motherfuckers. Your Holiness. Want to try silencing me with that gun you have? Do you think you can hurt me? That would be the best outcome possible. Like, aside from him bribing the Assembly and they're all gonna like, no, Warner is innocent. Because, they're all shady motherfuckers. No. Besides, I can't hurt someone I served for decades. It's kind of a bullshit lie considering what happened in Yune's route. You did everything you possibly could. You were like, he's in love with a woman. Ship him out. Woohoo! I control everything now. But you could shoot someone you didn't serve, I wager. This is very regrettable, Warner Evans. It's so easy to hurt others using a gun. All you need to do is pull the trigger. And because it's so easy, people with guns don't hesitate enough and don't feel guilty enough about it. We outlawed guns in this country to instill better morals in the people. Your ancestors wrote this law. It's like a slap in America's face. There's a little bit of shade. Just a little bit. Your ancestors were prudent, ethical people. How sad that you should be their descendant. You and your son will be investigated. Go to the Assembly, Warner Evans. I'll arrive later. Do not attempt to flee. This country is small and you'll be found quickly. I won't run or hide. Don't think of me as that big of a fool. No intentions of lying about what I did. We'll see you later. Lord Warner bowed to St. Yune and walked out through the door. He didn't look at me at all. Eventually, he was gone from the chapel. Are you sure, St. Yune? He might... He won't run away. Not after that grandstanding proclamation at the end. Besides, he's too well known to hide or flee. Perhaps in the depths he might be able to, but not up here. St. Yune gestured to end the discussion about Lord Warner and came over. I sheathed my sword and bowed. Old people always talk too much. What's your name? I take offense to that comment, as an old person. Spacey Tistella. I've only ever seen St. Yune in public. I was surprised by how colloquial he was in private. Thank you. I'll remember that. We'll see each other again, Spacey Tistella. St. Yune and I parted ways and I went to the barracks for work. So, I want to make a point about this ending. Like the guide that I have, there's no, the choices don't matter in this. I don't know if there are any. But this is basically like it's short, there's sparse on romance, but it's basically said that like all of the characters are basically at their best. I want to point that out. All of our, love interests and our main characters, obviously not the Evanses because they suck dick, but I want you to put a pin in that. Everybody's at their best. Boop! Because I'm going to come back and I'm going to smack that shit right out of the air. This is your best? Fuck it. Just for one specific... You know who I'm coming for. But I'm not going to spoil anything, but if this is your best... Bitch, I stand by what I said before about it. But anyway, we'll get there. I met Finn on the way, who pressed me about the incident. Go figure. Are you sure you can move around? Yeah, of course. I'm not hurt. Like, don't be a bitch, Finn. I see. Ouch! I gave Finn a poke to get him off my back. You worry too much. I'm fine. I still think you should rest today. You haven't slept. I don't feel sleepy. Perhaps not yet, but you won't make it until tonight. You should ask Sir Cordoa for a day off. You're so stubborn. I won't let you work today. Maybe I'm learning from you. Like, okay, right now. Finn! Pats on that. Okay, you're being the Finn that we, in the very, very beginning, before we figured out what a fucking psychopath you are, and fuck you, he's being normal and good and okay. Like, I can see why people like him. He's a doormat, but like, whatever. He's a nice doormat. Okay, great. Hi, you shrieking. You're fucking loud. Fucking loud bird. But, what's going on, you two? Yeah, I assumed it was Sir Cordoa. Sir Cordoa, please help me. We need to convince her that she can't work today after what happened. What? Finn had immediately gone on the offensive and tried to convince Sir Cordoa. Curse you, Finn. Sir Cordoa, I'm fine. Let me work. I don't want to miss work because of private matters. No, lack of sleep dulls your judgment. You should rest today. Fine. You both get the day off. What? Me too? Yes, I can't send you home alone. I can't send you home alone. You work in pairs, remember? Sleep and rest, all right? Sleep and rest, all right? Wow, I can't read. I feel completely fine, but I don't see how I can convince them of that. I couldn't talk back at Sir Cordoa. Very well. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Just want you to remember, everyone's at their best. Just feels wrong to wear a uniform and be told not to go on patrol. And because we're wearing the uniform, we need to go straight home. Yes, we must be an example to the citizens. Lord Warner was supposed to be exactly that as well. He was a delegate, a leader in our country, forging a path to the future. He had to be an even greater role model than we did, as we were merely police officers. And yet My bird's going ballistic. I wondered what was going to happen to Lord Warner and Lord Fitzgerald. Was the assembly session going to uncover the truth? At home and at the temple, I've been in danger twice today. If anything had all gone wrong, I'd be dead now. Yeah, if you hadn't left that... Well, no. If you hadn't left the room with your sword, your parents would be dead and you'd be in the depths. It'd be kind of fucked up. Could you imagine? But I had survived. Everything around me seemed clearer and more beautiful. I live over there, so we need to say goodbye. Are you going to be all right alone? Of course. I know this area. I could close my eyes and find the way home. Don't treat me like a child, Finn. What? You're both being a little loud. Fucking weirdos. I'm not treating you like... But all right. See you tomorrow. Yes, see you tomorrow. I didn't think Finn would ever have to be considerate of me. I looked after him and put a hand on my chest. He had suggested we skip work for my sake, with my health in mind. I have a good partner. Okay. I'm just saying. Look, I know some people say, Finn's being good, he's being great, and because we didn't end up in the depths, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm just saying, fuck Finn, alright? Because right now, I was like, oh, okay, I mean, we'll just pretend. Well, because technically, none of that crazy shit happened, so I'm supposed to pretend. Just wait. Just wait. I have not changed my mind. Well, let's go home. There was a crowd around our house. A guard detail had been sent, and they were trying to keep nosy onlookers away. I pushed my way through the crowd and entered the house. I closed the front door behind me and sighed. Good. Nothing has changed in here. I'm home. I walked into the parlor to find my mother and father. I'm just happy about... I'm sad because there's really no romance, but I'm happy because everybody's at their best and our parents aren't dead. And Warner and Fitzgerald are getting the axe. I mean... not right away, but... My mother's face lit up when she saw me. Oh, welcome back. We were waiting for you, Spacey. My mother hugged me emotionally. I grimaced. Mother... We were so worried that something had happened to you. I'm very well. No need to worry. Still, I'm shocked that the Evanses would try to remove us, if unsuccessfully. Is there anything you know? Yes, we may be only minor nobility, but I'm still a politician, and I know more about their scandals than the papers. I must have incurred the Evanses' wrath somehow. Yeah, and they wanted to off you, and then, they get rid of me, and then Fitzgerald doesn't have to marry me because, I have a backbone and I'm not just going to be a doormat for him, which is kind of what they were expecting. And then he also gets your political seats. There's a lot of things going, and then Glissad's happy. Father, it doesn't matter why they did it. It's unforgivable. I mean, yeah. In the end, I'm glad the engagement was called off. I'd never let such people have my amazing daughter. The engagement? What's going to happen to my marriage now? They should assign you someone else eventually. Let's hope for a better one this time. Yes, I hope so. The next one, huh? I ate a simple meal and I went to my room. I suppose wanting my marriage called off entirely would be too much to ask. Now we're buddy-buddy with Yune, we're trying to marry... I'm just saying. I wasn't going to oppose the law, but it irked me nonetheless. Still, it doesn't seem like anything's going to happen for a while. Sorry, I had to itch my ear. Relieved, I removed my cape and changed into more comfortable clothes. Outside, I thought I was completely fine. But once I was inside and the tension dropped off, I could feel exhaustion washing over me. Finn made the right call, it seems. I should go to sleep for the day. I pulled the sheets over my head and closed my eyes. A lot happened today, but I hope life goes on as usual tomorrow. Good night. The end. I'm just kidding. It's only the beginning. Grand ending. The end. And that is it. And we lived happily ever after. Great. The next morning I look at this asshole. Look, I know what everyone's saying. Everyone's at their best. And look, Finn's being nice. And technically all that crazy shit didn't happen because he's like with us. And this was the point in time before everything, when you first met Finn, that Finn was at his best. He was the best self he was ever going to be. And it's just all been downhill from there, okay? Finn just has a problem with being a fucking jackass, okay? The very beginning, the common route, before, we left our room. So in this one, we left the room with the sword or whatever, right? Finn was the best he was ever going to be. You're my partner, you're my friend, you're a pretty cool guy. Okay, you're fine. That's it. That's it. It ends there. Every fucking time we blink, he gets more and more douchey. I'm just saying, fuck Finn. And when we get to this end, even in this one, I'm still like, fuck him even harder. Okay? That's my spoiler alert. Fuck Finn. I've been saying this the whole goddamn game. Good morning. I look forward to working with you again. Yes, as do I. It's good to see you well. Thank you. What about you? What happened after you went home yesterday? Your parents must have been worried. Yeah, they were. Wasn't your family surprised you came home so early? Yes, but that gave me a chance to talk to my father. Your father? Yes, our timetables run almost opposite to each other, and I barely see him. He said he was surprised by how much I'd changed. Changed? Yes, I used to be more... Well, I still don't like standing out. Standing out, huh? Really? That's funny for somebody who likes to murder people, including my fucking boyfriends. I look up at him. But you're so tall. How's that gonna work? I am. Why did I have to grow up to be so tall? Anyway, I used to be shy and didn't play outside very often. So I was always shy and everything, so then you looked at me and are nice to me, therefore I'm in love with you and I need to kill everyone around. I mean, I'm just saying. He's psycho. Okay. And I know right now he's being charming and sweet and nice, and it's like, okay. And if we had never seen any other route, or we just saw Finn like right about here, it'd be like, no, Finn's fine. I mean, he's bland and boring, and like, I don't know why everybody loves him, but it's like, okay, he's not terrible. Sure, he's sweet. He's a sweet little doormat. It's a nice little doormat. Pat him on the head, right? Fine. But all of those fucking bad endings. And like, certain point in this one, nope. I'm sorry, I just don't like Finn, and every time he's here, it angers me. Just makes me angry. I don't know. My father said he liked how much stronger I look now. I didn't even do anything. It was an odd conversation. It must have been. It's better than being criticized, right? Aren't you happy about it, Finn? Yes. Oh. Someone was coming towards us. Good morning, Sir Cordoa. I can't say Sir Cordoa. That's just like, it doesn't flow out of your mouth. Good morning. I'm glad you're both well. I'm sorry that I need to spring this on you, but you need to do something. Yes? You see... And here we are, outside St. Yune's room. Finn, you don't have to wait here. I want to meet up with you afterwards as soon as possible. Is that all right? Oh, that was not his voice. Wow. Sure, if you want. I don't know what his voice is, because it doesn't fucking matter. I don't like him anyway. But I don't know how long it'll take. Won't you be bored out here? Don't worry, I'm good at waiting. Now go. St. Yune's waiting. Okay, see you later. I'm good at waiting. No, you're not. No, you're not, because you get crazy and stabby. Excuse me. I left Finn in the corridor and went in alone. St. Yune rose from the sofa and made a curt bow. I closed the door and bowed as well. You summoned me, St. Yune? Yes, thank you for coming. This way. Sit down there. St. Yune sat down on the sofa and gestured for me to sit down opposite of him, on the far side of a table. Now where do I begin? Let's start with the things that affect you directly, Spacey to Stella. Directly? I sat up a little straighter. St. Yune nodded. If Fitzgerald Evans attacked you and your family, Warner Evans ordered it. We're still trying to determine why. Their sentence hasn't been decided either. Alas, the Evans family is a pillar of the temple, and we must tread carefully. At the very least, I would expect Warner to be stripped of his position. I'll also lose mine, I believe. What? You'll lose your position, St. Yune? You must be joking. Yeah, I am. What? St. Yune grinned and apologized. But I do believe that I need to be punished in some way. At the root of this crime is government corruption. This could have been prevented had I been more attentive. In theory, it would be justified to remove me or for me to resign after this. But I'm a symbol for this country, and losing me would surely distress them. I don't want chaos in the streets. So instead of stepping down, I've decided to reform the government. I will rebuild the assembly. Rebuild? Until now, the delegates generally passed down their positions to one of their children. The basic constitution of it never changed. That allowed the rot to set in. I want to let a fresh wind blow in. From the depths. The depths? Yes, your ancestors and I fled that distant place on the surface when the flood came. We sacrificed a lot for it. Some survived on the surface after the flood. The ones we abandoned to die there. So far, we've been able to ignore them. But one day we need to face that. They live far away, but they're human beings just as we are. We should try to help each other. Help each other? Is that possible? Even if we approach them, they might not welcome us. Is there any point to it? I admit that it might not bear any fruit. Come on. But it's better than nothing, right? Besides, we don't have just one chance. Things will change in time. I have faith in this. I have a request of you, Spacey to Stella. Go to the depths as my emissary. Bring me a representative. A representative? Yes, someone I can easily influence and manipulate into... I'm kidding. I want someone with power and knowledge. I can't do this alone or the depths will think of me as a dictator. We want coexistence. I see. But why me? I'm just a rank 1 police officer. Surely I'll be an inadequate emissary. I don't see why. You're of noble birth. You have a respectable position. You can defend yourself and you've been there before. Besides, you exposed Warner Evans' true self and saw the corruption in this country. You know as well as anyone that things must change. I don't think there's anybody more suited than you. Will you accept this assignment? Me, being St. Yune's emissary. Well, even if I accept it, I'm worried that due to my age and inexperience, they'll not accept me as your emissary. Have no fear. You'll carry proof. Proof? St. Yune nodded, stood up, and went to a drawer. From it, he retrieved an envelope. Have this. It will prove to them that you're my emissary. He gestured to tell me I was allowed to open it. I checked the contents. What an odd stone. Yes. Before I became the saint, I was researching minerals. I was carrying that crystal with me when I fled the flood. When I became the saint, we had the stone turned into my seal. It should prove that you're my emissary. I just need to show them this? Yes, that should be enough. Probably. Probably? Not everyone in the depths knows me. They might not understand what this seal is. St. Yune... Oh, come on. The hounds will definitely understand what this is. If you need something, just ask for their help. Yeah, Sashin's going to be great about that. Sashin being Sashin. The hounds, huh? Look at that sexy motherfucker. I wasn't sure whether I could trust Sir Sushin. Let's hope I won't need them. This route is actually really fun because all of our characters are like that. It's great. One thing, but anyway. If you're taking the seal, does that mean you're accepting this assignment? Yes. But I do have one request. A request? What is it? Let me explain to Finn the nature of this assignment. Finn? Who's that? Finn Euclid. He's my partner in the police. We always work together. I know that this is a lot to ask, but I like him as a colleague. I don't want to simply disappear. I'll tell him to keep it a secret. Please? All right. I'll trust you and him. But you need to tell him here in front of me. I don't want anyone listening in. Have him come here. Thank you, St. Yune. With St. Yune's permission, I explained my assignment to Finn. Finn's expression became cloudy and dismayed. So, like, at first, the first time I was playing this, I'm like, why don't we take Finn with us? You know what I mean? Like, he's sending me to the depths, and, like, nobody, like, people are just going to wonder where I went if I literally disappear, because that's it. We're not telling anyone I'm going. So Finn's just going to, work without me, or I don't know where Spacey went. He should disappear with me. But again, I have work. And I suppose Yune's going to be like, oh, I sent her to do something. She's doing something for me. But we always work in pairs, so... You know what I'm saying? It just seems weird. I thought it seemed weird that we didn't take Finn. There is a reason for it. But we'll figure that out later. May I go with her? Finn! It's too dangerous to send her alone. Please let me go with you, Spacey. Clingy motherfucker. No, Finn. The seal will only help one person. The one I'm giving it to. I don't have more. You need to wait here. And that's kind of bullshit. We are emissaries. We have a seal. Oh, okay. Well, wait. Only one of you has it. Like, duh. They did. Some of the logic in this game is like, you are just playing fast and loose with this. But, I mean, again, we had to tell Finn no. And there's really no other excuse. Just no? Because I said so? Like, you know what I mean? Nothing would have made sense here. But, don't grumble. I'm not going to my death. We're making a better future for us in the Heights. Please understand, Finn. Also, you're clingy and I don't want you near me. You irritate me. Finn... All right. But you have to come back in one piece. I promise. I promise I'll be back. I gave you the chance to talk to him. Now it's your turn. All right? I'll go to the depths for you. Thank you. I'll have the lift prepared to take you down whenever you're ready. Head there once you've prepared to leave. Once you're prepared to leave. I understand. Excuse me. St. Yune and Finn saw me off at the station. I left soon after our discussion. I was alone inside the lift. It seemed so large and empty, but unlike my first time in it, I didn't feel uneasy. It's only been a few days since the last time I went. I didn't expect I'd return. Sir Sashin? Sir Inez? We've arrived upon receiving a message. We arrived upon receiving message. Okay. A message from St. Yune in the temple. Certainly didn't think I'd find you of all people here. He looked incredibly unhappy. His face was tense. And yet, here I am. This is proof of who I am. I showed them the crystal St. Yune had given me. Sir Inez took it and held it against the light, looking at it from all angles. Look with your eyes, not with your hands! He could take it and run. I mean, he won't, but it's St. Yune's seal. She speaks the truth. Yes, I'm not lying, but I'm surprised that you accept that just from seeing the seal. Only St. Yune uses this seal. Reproductions are outlawed. The hounds have executed forgers of it in the past. We were told his emissary would come bearing the seal, and there's no option but to trust you. I see. Thank you for that. It's very valuable. I shouldn't lose it. He gave it back, and I put it into the most secure pocket I could find. Then I looked up at Sir Inez. Thank you for your assistance while I'm here. Thank you for yours. Why is that in... I don't know. Anyway, I look forward to it. Or maybe I was supposed to stress, thank you for your assistance. Not Sashin. Maybe they're supposed to emphasize you. But what kind of assistance would that be? We're only told this emissary would come, and we're told it would be you. I was talking to Sir Inez, you know. Okay, it was supposed to be for emphasis. Girl, finish your business and go home, all right? Sir Sashin spun around and left. And that's no way to treat the emissary. You have my apologies. It's all right. We don't get along. I exhaled and looked around. I should start working on my assignment immediately. Is it an urgent one? It'll be dark soon. I can't recommend being out at night in an unfamiliar area. He was right. I should have asked St. Yune how much time I have. I pondered it and tried to remember his demeanor. I should do it as quickly as possible, but it's not a matter of minutes. I suspected starting the next day it was still acceptable. Thank you for your warning. I will respect it. Sir Inez, could you please lead me towards accommodations? Roger. Follow me. He led me towards the Hound's headquarters. We stopped in front of it and I gazed at the facade. We have empty rooms. Sleep here tonight. That won't be necessary. I could sleep in an inn. The sanctuary district has no inns. The people with homes sleep in them. The rest sleep outside. You're St. Yune's emissary. We can't let you sleep outside. Won't that inconvenience you? I said we have empty rooms. It won't. Having you sleep outside would be far more problematic. Sir Inez fell silent. I had the feeling he was trying not to force me, relying on me to make a decision. I don't want them to be worried for my safety. I was the temple's emissary. Sleeping outside was perhaps not acceptable. If there were no inns, then I had no choice. Thank you. I'll take you up on that offer. Good. Follow me. I'm sorry that your room is so dreary. It's all right. Thank you. I hope you won't take this the wrong way, but the room's much cleaner than I imagined. We of the Hounds, myself included, are foul men. Your expectations were reasonable. The Hounds are instrumental for the Sanctuary District, and we maintain strict pest control and hygiene. I hope you can rest well. Thank you. Do you have any other questions? Questions? I thought about it, feeling vaguely like I was talking to a teacher. Oh, Sir Inez, I have a question. Who in the depths, in your opinion, has power and is trustworthy? In the depths? If we're talking about the Sanctuary District, the answer would be Sashin Brandenburg. Sir Sashin. He's the commander of the Hounds, yes. That does give him power, but... outside the Sanctuary District, inside the depths proper, it's a little more difficult. I see. Is there nobody there? Perhaps you could speak to Elkcreed. Elkcreed? She's like, Elkcreed? Yes! I mean, you knew that was coming, but... Elkcreed Valentine. He's head of the Valentine Peg. I should parley with a banker? He's also representative of a district called Liberalitas. He might be able to introduce you to someone else. I see. What's Liberalitas? His eyes widened with surprise. Then he nodded. Right. You don't know anything about the depths. Apologies. They live unbound by law, unlike we did in the Heights. But order is necessary to maintain a society. Powerful individuals have organized districts around themselves to preserve order. Liberalitas is one of them. Liberalitas is especially young, so is Elkcreed, but he's a sharp, adaptable man as well. Most people in the depths hate the people from the Heights, but he doesn't discriminate. Really? Even though he's from here? Yes, and he's well-connected and willing to help those he deems competent. I see. Well-connected. If what Sir Inez said was right, then perhaps he could be trusted. There was value in meeting him. I see. I want to meet him tomorrow. Roger. I'll send word to him that you wish to meet tomorrow. I'll accompany you, the area being what it is. But there'll be no need for that. Surely you have other things to attend to. There will be. You've only been here once on observation. You don't know the depths. You've never even seen the area outside the Sanctuary District. If you were to go there alone and something were to befall you, then the Hounds would be held responsible. Please don't resist. All right. Thank you for your consideration, Sir Inez. Sir Inez nodded with satisfaction and opened the door. I'll come to meet you here in the morning. Sleep well. Thank you. Good night. Sir Inez is a man of character, unlike a certain someone. Sir Sashin's face flashed in front of my eyes. No, I shouldn't judge someone I hardly know. I unbuckled my sword and leaned it against the bed. Elcreed Valentine. I wonder what sort of a person he is. The best person imaginable. I fell asleep, hoping that he was someone trustworthy enough to introduce him to St. Une. Okay. I'm actually going to stop here because I'm kind of getting close. Something I gotta do, so I've got to stop. So it's a little bit under time, but it's the perfect place to stop. And we will pick it back up going into the Sanctuary District and meeting Elcreed in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.